Across the country, high school girl athletes are up against a new challenge: boys who identify as girls competing against them. In Connecticut, 3 girl track athletes are suing the state athletic conference for forcing them to run against transgender athletes, biological boys who say they're girls. But last week, the judge in the case shot down the girls' lawyers, telling them not to refer to their biological male competitors as males. He called the words provocative and bullying. Well, author Abigail Schreier has a book coming out next month on the transgender movement. It's called Irreversible Damage: The Transgender Craze Seducing Our Daughters. And she also has a piece in Newsweek this week on what's happening in the Connecticut case, and she joins us now. Abigail, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on.
So you think that the lawyers representing the female athletes should not give in to the judge's demand. Tell us about your concern.
No, they really can't. This was a highly prejudicial instruction. This is basically telling the girls that they should give away a huge part of their case. Look, the case is about what rights and privileges that women have, and girls and women have, in this case under Title IX of the 1972 Education Amendments. Which ones are other people entitled to based on their say-so, based on their identification? And one of those rights and privileges is the right to be called a girl, right? In the hypothetical I give in the Newsweek articles, I say, imagine a case in which someone was, impersonating an officer or charged with impersonating the officer. Imagine a judge instructing the prosecution, you have to refer to this defendant as Officer O'Malley. That's highly prejudicial, and that's saying that they have to refer to these biological boys as transgender girls is effectively saying we know they're some type of girl. The judge has already decided that. So the judge at this point really must recuse himself, or he really should be reversed.
So you've just written a book on the transgender movement. It's coming out next month. How important is this Connecticut case when it comes to the overall women's sports issue?
I think there's no more important case. I mean, when we talk about civil rights, a lot of these things are symbolic. This is not symbolic. This is concrete. These are the rights. These are the opportunities, the scholarships, the chances for advancement that women fought for in the civil rights movement, in the women's movement. This was the chance for girls to actually have the same scholarship opportunities as boys. They're losing them. Okay, this is concrete. In fact, 13 out of the 14 state championships of events since 2017 now in track have been won. Girls' state championship events have been won by biological boys. They are stripping away girls' records. In fact, biological boys have now taken 15 women's state championship titles since 2016 in Connecticut. They are literally erasing women's history as we speak. This is a very, very serious issue, and it means these girls are not advancing. Fewer girls are now advancing to regional championships because the boys can so easily beat them.
Well, I'm curious, because you've just written this book. What are you hearing from parents across the country when it comes specifically to this sports issue? Are they waking up to what's going on, that their daughters might be having to compete against boys, that their daughters might be losing opportunities, scholarships, etc.?
I do hear from parents. To be honest, I don't hear from enough. To some extent, I don't think Democrats particularly are awake to this issue. Every Democratic candidate for president has supported the Equality Act. This would completely give away rights of women and girls. They cannot, for some reason right now, the Democratic Party cannot wait to give away the hard-on rights of women and girls. It's wrong, and it's not theirs to give away.
Well, we're going to be following this case closely. I know, fascinating issue in our time. Abigail Schreier, thanks for your insights.
Oh, thanks for having me on.